Evening. As most of you know, I'm Stephen Getz, president of the Congregation for Humanistic Judaism, and I extend a warm welcome to our CHJ family and guests here tonight. I'm pleased to inform you that we are again in store for a very special Seder that will include readings reflective of our humanistic Jewish perspective, combined with the lively and inspirational sounds of guest musician Adam Fader. TuBshvat originated as an agricultural holiday before evolving into what it is today, celebrated as a Jewish Earth Day. With growing concern of global climate change, this holiday has taken on greater meaning and reminds us to combine celebrating the wonder and benefits we derive from the natural world with an explicit call to action, reflecting the Jewish value of tikkun olam, or repairing the world, and in this case, literally. As a humanistic Jewish congregation, we subscribe to a human-centered approach to Judaism and believe that it is solely a human responsibility and obligation to address the concerns of climate change. We have an essential bond with the natural world, which we have no choice but to protect. A wise young woman with a little dog once memorably said, "There's no place like home." That is the essence of TuBshvat. There is no place like home. And so it is fitting that we come together as a community to honor our natural home, celebrate it, and reaffirm our commitment to do whatever we can to protect it. The operative word is do. Last weekend, CHJ hosted a Climate Shabbat call to action. Climate activist and self-described corporate whisperer Amy Larkin urged us all to take a stand beyond incrementally adjusting our own living habits. She says we must demand that major companies, of which we are stockholders, take climate change seriously and reduce carbon footprints. Our elected officials can also be contacted for change. The Earth's health should be a nonpartisan issue. To continue the momentum of the meaning and spirit of tonight's Seder, you will receive via email from Rachel Dreyfus some practical and doable ideas that you can put into action immediately to help address climate change. Please watch for it. Now, before we begin our Seder, Adam Fader and Masha Kostrin will lead us in a short Havdalah service.
Welcome, everyone. So glad to be here with you all. I'm just looking around, seeing who's here. We have two screens, so make sure you go back and forth and feel free to view this gathering in gallery view or in speaker view. But if you're in speaker view, I suggest to periodically go back to galleries just so you can see who we're all gathered with. So with that, I'm just going to take a nice deep breath. I invite you to take a deep breath and feel your tuchus on your chair, or if you're standing, your feet, and just really welcome yourself here. So glad to be together. And as we sing tonight, I encourage you to sing loud on mute. Keep yourselves on mute, but as if we were in the room together, right? Which one day soon we will be again. So let us begin our Havdalah service.
Who's talking?
Don't know.
As the sun descends and shadows lengthen, let us bid farewell to Shabbat. Havdalah means separation, a separation between rest and activity, between sunlight and darkness, between the busyness of daily routine and the privilege of private reflection. It impresses upon us the reality of moral distinctions in the universe. The symbols of the Havdalah observance are a twisted candle, one candle with at least 2 wicks, wine, in this case white, and fragrant spices. First, we bring forth this candle to relieve the darkness, all that is obscure and vague in life, all that frightens and confounds, finds a home in unlit spaces. This braided Havdalah candle represents the many sources of light, which when combined, bring joy to our hearts, wisdom to our minds, and peace to our lives. Even as these intertwined strands of wax come together in the warm glow of a single flame, so do goodness and knowledge, joy and hope blend to nourish and enrich our lives. Precious is the light in the world. Precious is the light within each of us.
We celebrate the fruit of the vine and the bounty of nature as we lift this cup and sip. May the taste of the wine sit within us, stir within us a reverence for the natural world and respect for the trees, the sand, the animals, the oceans, the earth, and all that live upon it, and the sun, moon, and stars in the sky. Precious is nature, which ripens the fruit of the vine.
These spices represent the fragrant beauty of all that is good and true in life. We inhale their aroma with the hope that the days to come may be replete with the sweetness of health and the joy of fulfillment. In the coming week and all the weeks, may we seek the truth more devotedly, that we may act more wisely. May we reflect more searchingly, that we may know ourselves more completely. May we love more freely, that we may forgive more quickly. May we act more courageously, that we may live more nobly. Extinguish the flame. Shavua Tov, everyone. Shavua Tov. Wishing everyone a good week, a healthy, beautiful week. It's a good start. So we continue with Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, peace will come to us. May it be so. Kain Yehi Ratzon. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu on the top of page 3. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kolam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kolam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Be'alam od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, be'al kulam.
Hello, I'm Rochelle Green, and I am chair of CHJ's Ritual Committee. And I'm so glad that you've all joined us today for our TuBshvat Seder. I'm here to provide a brief background of this festive holiday and what you can expect tonight as we celebrate the new year of the trees. TuBshvat falls on the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Shvat. It originated in an ancient pagan festival honoring Asherah, goddess of farmers and fertility. And her symbol was a tree. Centuries later, it gained in meaning and popularity when the Kabbalists, or Jewish mystics, created a TuBshvat Seder. The service was loosely modeled on the Passover Seder, in that it follows a specific order set forth in a Haggadah, which you all have. As on Passover, we drink 4 cups of juice or wine, but on this occasion, each cup changes color as we mix red and white to correspond to the changing seasons. Also unique to the TuBshvat Seder is the ritual consumption of different types of fruits and nuts, each symbolizing a season and marking the rebirth, growth, and flowering of both the earth and the human spirit. We hope you'll sample your own supply of drinks, nuts, and fruits as we make our way through the seasons. Our Haggadah is dedicated to the memory of longtime CHJ member Lucy Katz, who led the way in creating and guiding this ceremony, this celebration for many years. Yes, that's right. Her deep commitment to Tikkun Olam and to Jewish values was evident in all that she did, and her love for this holiday lives on in our service today. I just want to mention that although everyone except designated readers will remain on mute during most of today's event, we invite you to direct your comments and questions to the chat. Before we go on, I just want to mention we have a special guest with us today, and that is Emily Rubenstein, who did the beautiful artwork that you see on the front of your Haggadah and also on the goodie bags. That she's showing you a pistachio from the goodie bag, the goodie bags that, that's right, that many of you got. And I should mention that Emily is my granddaughter. And this is her mother, Lauren, and her brother, Max, and her dad, Dan.
What?
So thank you, Emily, so much for
You're
giving us that beautiful artwork.
welcome.
And now we're going to begin with the 4 main parts of the Seder, starting with winter, led by CHJ members Donna Susi and George Rockmore.
In Israel, Tu B'Shvat is a celebration of spring. The trees are budding. Here in the North, America, it is still midwinter, and the trees seem barren and forlorn. Yet Tu B'Shvat reminds us that even now, the life juice begins to rise again in the natural world. And we look with hope to the coming spring. With Jewish communities around the world, we celebrate our Jewish birthday, a day of attention to healing and preserving the natural environment. We organize seders, tree plantings, environmental restoration activities, and educational events, all of which provide an opportunity to express the Jewish commitment to protecting the earth.
We gather on Tu B'Shvat as Jews of conscience, with a deep bond to the world's natural wonders, to affirm and preserve creation, We recall the words in the book of Genesis, which states that God placed man and woman in the Garden of Eden to till it and to tend it. We take these words to mean that our ancestors want us to be stewards of the land, to depend on it for sustenance, and to serve as responsible caretakers, passing it on for the benefit of future generations. We are grateful for creation in all its majesty, the ever-flowing waters, the azure skies, the complex life of Earth's forest, the myriad of life's forms. The life of all creatures and our own lives are one, profoundly dependent upon each other.
I like winter. Winter is a relief from the heat and humidity of summer. In the summer, there's this pressure to be outside doing things. Sports, gardening, traveling, hiking, camping, swimming, sailing, playing games, picnics, barbecues, etc., etc. I like the coziness of being inside in winter with a good book, maybe a log in the fireplace and a glass of red wine. Winter is for relaxing after all the busyness of summer. I like bundling up and taking walks in winter. It's the only time you can appreciate the bare limbs of trees. Their stark branches against the blue sky reveal the beautiful architecture of trees. I love walking on the beach in winter during a storm when the waves are crashing on the shore. Feeling the power of nature is exciting and invigorating. I like winter because it's the only time dogs are allowed on the beach, and I like watching them play together, chasing balls their owners have thrown into the waves. And I like it when they come up to me and sniff at my shoes. I like watching snow falling gently and the wonderful hush it creates. I like winter because it's followed by spring. But best of all, I like seeing my CHJ friends at the winter holidays, Hanukkah and TuBshvat.
Wow. Thank you, Donna. We have so much in common. I love winter too, for all of those reasons. So friends, if you're seeing me in speaker view, which you might be, if you're seeing my swirling disco ball that I brought out for this TuBshvat Seder, let's enjoy it for one more moment. And then I encourage you to put yourself back in gallery view so we can all sing together Na'aseh Shalom. Na'aseh Shalom ba'olam. Na'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Ve'imru shalom. Na'aseh shalom. Na'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Na'aseh shalom. Na'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Lai, 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 lai,
To celebrate winter, we first drink a cup of white wine or grape juice. This white symbolizes the sleep that descends upon nature when the sun's rays begin to weaken in winter. The earth is sometimes, in winters, the earth is sometimes barren, covered with snow. In winter, we layer ourselves in clothing, blanketing ourselves from the cold, just as the earth is insulated by a blanket of snow. In order to appreciate properly the special in the ordinary, Judaism instructs that we reflect on every action we take. We are grateful for the fruit of the vine, and in many ways we are protected from the harshness of winter. May we feel the sleep of the winter as it refuels our body and makes us strong, and prepares our soul for the lengthening of the days, rebirth of nature.
George, we can't hear you.
No, too late. It's done.
Please put the mic by whoever's
It's
speaking.
just done. Yeah.
Sorry.
Couldn't hear me?
Couldn't hear me at all? Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Next, we eat nuts with their hard outer shell and soft edible insides. These nuts also symbolize the winter season with its protected outside. Some people resemble nuts in that they are hard on the outside and difficult to get to know, but we are rewarded when we peel away the top layer and discover their compassion and inner warmth. As we eat these nuts, may we acknowledge our strength that protects us and allows us to act in the world. But may we also have the strength to reveal ourselves, to be vulnerable, to love and be loved, to grow, and to repair and help heal. We'll pause as we all eat the ceremonial winter food, nuts.
It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. That almost sounded like the animals. For your love, did anyone hear that? Good.
Spring is the season when the world is transformed and when it is the most vulnerable. The beauty of new birth in the spring overwhelms us. Spring is an emotional world full of joy and of hope for a new beginning. We drink white wine or juice with a dash of red. We eat fruits with soft insides and hard inner cores. Our drink now symbolizes the gradual deepening of color, the reawakening of colors in nature as the sun brings them back to life.
As we drink the second cup, we look forward to spring, when the sun's rays begin to thaw the frozen earth and the first flowers appear on the hillsides. May we enjoy the full warmth of spring when we can run freely outdoors. May we, like the flowers, blossom into our full potential.
We eat fruit containing a hard center pit to remind us that although we throw it away, it is the source of new growth and new life. Some people are like the spring fruits with a hard inner core capable of harshness or arrogance, but who also contain the potential for love and compassion. We include olives with our spring fruits. In Judaism, the olive tree is a sign of hope that despite the enormity of destruction, life can be restored. When the great flood began to subside, Noah sent out a dove. The dove came back to him toward evening, and there in its bill was a leaf it had picked from an olive tree. We'll pause as we all eat the fruit of the emotional world. May our hearts be open to joy and to compassion for all beings. May we in our lives plant seeds of wisdom, friendship, and peace.
Won't you join me as I sing one of my favorite songs that we've all sung together many, many, many times, Bashana Haba'ah. The day will arrive when we will be together and no longer will we live in fear. And the children will smile without wondering whether on that day dark new clouds will appear. Wait and see what a world this can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Wait and see what a world this can be if we share, if we care, you and me. Some have dreamed, some have died to make a bright tomorrow, and their vision remains in our heart. Now the torch must be passed in hope and not with sorrow, and a promise to make a new start. O Tirei, kama tovie, Ashana, Ashana, wait and see what a world there can be if we share, if we care, you and me. O Tirei, Ashana Bashana Abaa La 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 if we share, if we care, you and me.
Okay. Spring is my favorite season. After months of cold weather that keep you indoors or make you dress for Siberia, finally a bit of temperate weather appears. Here on the East Coast, we are accustomed to changeable weather, so early spring might still be winter and not yet spring. We see spring early as some of our bulbs are anxious to bloom. The birds are active in the bird feeder, and the squirrels are trying to get into the bird feeder. Soon hundreds of chipmunks will be running around looking for food. This rebirth of life is everywhere. In a month, everything is blooming with wild colors that satisfy your yearning for beauty and renewed life. Spring on the East Coast is truly amazing. We enjoy hiking, biking, chores outdoors, boating, all the hobbies that are available when the winter is inviting. The rebirth of the earth that spring shares with us is so beautiful and breathtaking and makes us feel so alive as it challenges us to accomplish more and enjoy each day.
Wish the story was all sun and fun, but there are issues that are on the horizon that are very worrisome and frightening. Climate, global warming are the dirty words. We have used and abused our beautiful earth. Finally, it looks like there will be some positive action taken in an attempt to correct some problems, but is it soon enough? Are we too late? Are other countries participating? How can we all help?
Summer is the third season, represents the world of ideas and rebirth. When we are nurtured by the warm air and the rest it brings us, we drink red wine with a dash of white, reminding us that as the land becomes warmer and the colors of the fruits deepen as they ripen, we too become warmer and more open. As we drink the third cup, may we cherish the warmth of the season, a chance for new ideas and plans, and for greater awareness of our obligation to the earth and to others. So we drink the third cup. The fruit that we eat now is soft and edible inside and out, like people with whom we form quick and lasting friendships. As we eat these fruits of summer, may our thoughts and actions be integrated. May we create ease and harmony in our lives and in the world. And now we eat from soft fruits with edible skin like apples, strawberries, figs, grapes, etc. Summer is my favorite season because when I was young, my family lived 1 mile from the Atlantic Ocean. In the summer, at perhaps age 8 and later, I happily remember riding my bicycle daily the back way to the ocean, along quiet lanes with beautiful old houses and tall leafy trees onto Ocean Avenue leading to Main Beach, where my sister and I would arrive in the late morning with picnic lunches packed in our bike bags, spend the rest of the day playing with friends, going in the water multiple times, diving into and riding waves on rafts, the precursors of boogie boards, body surfing, getting rolled in the foamy salt water, reading and snoozing in the sun. In the late afternoon, my mother would arrive with lemonade, fresh fruit, and chocolate chip cookies. She would then take a leisurely swim. Under the lifeguard's watchful gaze, we children would swim out to the barrels, the buoys, marking the deep water swimming area. In the evenings at home, we would have steak or hamburgers grilled by my father in our outdoor brick fireplace, fresh corn on the cob with butter and salt, salad, fruit, and maybe ice cream. We'd eat outside at our white painted wooden picnic table, sheltered by our beloved giant Norway maple tree, with its hammock and rope pulley rigged to haul up books we read while perched in the wide branches. We hauled our dog up in the basket too, to join us among the leaves. Sometimes at dusk among the now shadowed tall trees with our friends, children of visiting families, we would play Witch, a scary outside hide and seek game. On cloudy days, we might ride our bikes to the village library or the playground. When it rained, we would play board and card games. Summer was a very special time, centered around the ocean, the beach, the trees, friends, and family. I'm grateful I grew up in such a beautiful place. Living near salt water and among lovely, lofty trees now reminds me of the pleasures of my childhood summers.
On this new year of the trees, we find wisdom in the ancient Jewish texts. In the 2nd century, Rabbi Simon Bar Yochai advised, if you are holding a sapling in your hand and someone says the Messiah has drawn near, first plant the sapling, then go greet the Messiah. This is an obligation to ourselves and to the generations that follow. For if we do not assume our stewardship of the earth, no one else will be there to do so. From the Torah, we learned that even in the course of war, we should not cut down the fruit trees of a besieged city. As the 14th century scholar Rabbeinu Bachya explains, that is because destroying fruit trees is like destroying human life. So greatly do people depend on them. Also relevant to today's observance is Bal Tashit, an important principle of Jewish law. It means do not necessarily waste or destroy, and includes needless destruction of the air, the water, the earth, and the plants and animals that live there. The wisdom of this law is perhaps most poignant in the heat of the summer. Last year was the Earth's hottest on record, contributing to shrinking glaciers, dangerous sea rise, destructive wildfires, and an increase in catastrophic weather events. But there are signs of progress in the effort to stem climate change, including increases in the global use of renewable energy. In Glasgow last November, at the United Nations Climate Convention, 40 nations committed to begin phasing out coal, and more than 100 pledged to end deforestation by 2030.
We all live on a planet so big and blue, all the rivers run. So much to learn, so much to do, all the rivers run. There are mountains high and valleys low, all the rivers run. and in between them the waters flow. All the rivers run, all the rivers run, dancing in the sun, cradled in their watershed. All the rivers run. When the sun comes up and warms the land, all the rivers run. There's a world of wonder in every hand. All the rivers run. Dewdrop, raindrop, all the rivers run. The water cycles endlessly. All the rivers run. Join me here. All the rivers run. Dancing in the sun, cradled in their watershed. All the rivers run. See millions of interlinking threads. All the rivers run. This is the web of life, it's said. All the rivers run. The tapestry of life is knit. All the rivers run. The water flows through all of it. All the rivers run. All the rivers run. Dancing in the sun, cradled in their watershed. All the rivers run. When the rain comes down in our hometown, all the rivers run. It joins your creek and rolls on down. All the rivers run. When your creek turns on and all the way, all the rivers run. Into your river, then down to the bay. All the rivers run. All the rivers run. Dancing in the sun, cradled in their watershed. All the rivers run. All the rivers run. Dancing in the sun, cradled in their watershed. All the rivers run.
Autumn is the fourth season. The fourth season is autumn and represents the world of the spirit or life of energy. We drink deep red juice and eat no fruit, for this season is not represented by any particular fruit. We nourish ourselves instead with a deep, long breath, joining our spirit with the world. Let us do that now. Everyone, take a deep, long breath and let it out. The pure red represents the full bloom of nature before the cold winter. As nature expends its last bit of energy, a full cycle is completed. As we have passed through each season, we have changed. We began by protecting our soft inner self and slowly peeled our hard outer layer. Within that soft layer, we found a hard core protected by the softness which surrounded us. We then came to a place where there was no distinction between the protected and the protector.
Ma'am. As we drink the fourth cup, the red wine or juice on its own, may we become strong like the healthy trees with solid roots in the ground and with our arms open to the love that is all around us. We rejoice in the goodness of the earth and in the fruit of her bounty. We rejoice in our friends and families and those whom we share this TuBshvat Seder. We rejoice in the dreams of world peace.
Why do I love the fall? It's the colors and the coolness. Please pick up. There we go. My fondest fall reflection brings my father to my mind. My father was fascinated by the processes of life and the processes that create the seasons. He took me out just before dawn and showed me how and why the constellation Orion reappears in the sky at the end of the summer in the early dawn. My father planted this tree as a gift to my mother. So the beginning of autumn is always so wonderful, so glowing with color. But frankly, fall is also about getting ready for winter. The squirrels get ready, the birds get ready, and the trees also have their work to do. Leaves don't fall off. Trees actively shed their leaves. Can we have the next slide, please? Oops. Get the next one. What happened to it? Did it get lost, Rachel? Do you want me to bring it up if I can?
I'm sorry, I lost the second one.
Okay, well, let me see.
Thought I had it.
You got
I
it?
had two of the first one. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, let me. Is part of fall. A very.
Oh wait,
There it is.
I got it. Wait, sorry, I got it. Ah, here it is.
Thank you. There it is. And this is part of fall. For humans who can picture the future, fall is bittersweet. I have two poems for you. First, here's a famous poem about a child's reaction to fall. It's Gerard Manley Hopkins, Spring and Fall to a Young Child. Margaret, are you grieving over Golden Grove unleaving? Leaves, like the things of man, you with your fresh thoughts care for, can you? As the heart grows older, it will come to such sights colder by and by, nor spare a sigh, though worlds of one would leaf kneel lie. And yet you will weep, and know why. Now, no matter, child, the name, sorrow's springs are the same. Nor mouth had, no, nor mind expressed what heart heard of, ghost guessed. It is a blight man was born for. It is Margaret you mourn for. And the second poem is another perspective. It was my father's choice of a poem when he was in his 80s. And he told me this was how he felt about autumn. He said, this is William Shakespeare, sonnet number 73. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, consumed as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well, which thou must leave ere long. Okay. Hang on.
Thank you, Ruth. Beautiful. So I'm going to sing a song called Peace Is by a man named Fred Small, who I met in 1987 at a small concert venue in Cambridge, Massachusetts, called Passim's, a great old folk venue. Marcia's nodding, you know it. And Fred Small was an activist, a peace activist for disability rights, for racial justice, for gender freedom, for all kinds of causes, but he wrote amazing, amazing, beautiful songs. And this is one of them. It's called Pieces. And tonight I want to dedicate it to one of my teachers, a man named Thich Nhat Hanh, who actually passed away, who died yesterday at the age of 95. And he was a Buddhist monk from Vietnam who devoted his life to peace making. So tonight I hold his spirit high and share this beautiful song with you. Peace is the bread we break. Love is a river rolling. Life is a chance we take when we make this earth our home. Gonna make this earth our home. Feel the cool breeze blowing through the smoke and the heat. Hear the gentle voices and the marching feet, singing, call back the fire, draw the missiles down, and we'll call this earth our home. Peace is the bread we break. Love is a river rolling. Life is a chance we take when we make this earth our home. Gonna make this earth our home. We have known the atom, the power and the pain. We've seen people fall beneath the killing rain. If the mind still reasons and the soul remains, it shall never be again. Peace is the bread we break. Love is a river rolling. Life is a chance we take when we make this earth our home. Gonna make this earth our home. Peace grows from a tiny seed as the acorn grows into the tallest tree. Many years ago I heard a soldier say, when people want peace, better get out of the way. Peace is the bread we break. Love is a river rolling. Life is the chance we take when we make this earth our home. Gonna make this earth our home.
Thank you, Adam, for all your moving performances tonight and all the other nights. Thank you. When we are most vulnerable, we might wonder what minuscule difference we can, as individuals or as congregations, make in the vast scheme of things. Maimonides teaches us that we should consider the entire world as if it were exactly balanced between acts of righteousness and of evil. The very next action we take, therefore, can save or condemn the world. Swedish teenager and climate activist Greta Thunberg is a role model in this way. In 2018, she inspired a global movement with her unvarnished outrage and urgent calls to action. Increasingly, young people throughout the world are responding, raising their voices at protests and in climate conferences, aware that the future they're trying to save is their own.
Amanda Gorman is another young woman who made a compelling appeal on the planet's behalf. Gorman captured the nation's interest at the presidential inauguration last year with a passionate delivery of her poem, The Hill We Climb. A few years earlier, she had recorded her poem, Earthrise, which we'd like to share with you tonight as the end of our service nears. But first, let us take from this Seder an important message. Let us resolve to do at least one act this year to heal the world and its physical environment. May I, may you, may we not die unlived lives. May none of us live in fear of failing or catching fire. May we choose to inhabit our days, to allow our living to open us, to make us less afraid, more accessible, to loosen our hearts until they become wings, torches, promises. May each of us choose to risk our significance, to live so that which comes to us as seeds goes to the next generation as blossom, and that which comes to us as blossom goes on as fruit. All right.
Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, including our earth and environment, has always been an important part of CHJ's mission. As a congregation and as individuals, we have taken steps to reduce, reuse, and recycle. But there is still more. Let us always be open to new ideas and opportunities to be loving stewards of this planet we call home.
Sorry. Before we share the amazing video of Amanda Gorman, I'm going to share one last song. Please join with me as I sing a beautiful song of Power by Debbie Friedman, Not by Might, Not by Power. On mute, sing your hearts out. I can see you, and I see you singing. It's wonderful. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Children sing la da dee da, children dream. Though their tears may fall, we can hear them call, and another song will rise. Another song will rise. Another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Children sing la da dee da, children dream. Though their tears may fall, we can hear them call, and another song will rise. Another song will rise. Another song will rise. Not by might, not by power, shalom. And now, presenting Earthwise by Amanda Gorman.
On Christmas Eve, 1968, astronaut Bill Anders snapped a photo of the Earth as Apollo 8 orbited the moon. Those three guys were surprised to see from their eyes a planet looked like an Earthrise, a blue orb hovering over the moon's gray horizon with deep oceans and silver skies. It was our world's first glance at itself, a first chance to see a shared reality, a declared stance, and a commonality, a glimpse into our planet's mirror. And as threats drew nearer, our own urgency became clearer as we realized that we hold nothing dearer than this floating body we all call home. We've known that we're caught in the throes of climactic changes some say will just go away, while some simply pray to survive another day. For it is the obscure, the oppressed, the poor who, when the disaster is declared done, still suffer more than anyone. Climate change is the single greatest challenge of our time. Of this, you're certainly aware. It's saddening, but I cannot spare you from knowing an inconvenient fact, because it's getting the facts straight that gets us to act and not to wait. So I tell you this not to scare you, but to prepare you, to dare you to dream a different reality where, despite disparities, we all care to protect this world, this riddled blue marvel, this little true marvel, to master the verve and the nerve to see how we can serve our planet. You don't need to be a politician to make it your mission to conserve, to protect, to preserve that one and only home that is ours. To use your unique power to give next generations the planet they deserve. We are demonstrating, creating, advocating. We heed this inconvenient truth because we need to be anything but lenient with the future of our youth. And while this is a training in sustaining the future of our planet, there is no rehearsal. The time is now, because the reversal of harm and protection of a future so universal should be anything but controversial. So, Earth, pale blue dots, we will fail you not. Just as we chose to go to the moon, we know it's never too soon to choose hope. We choose to do more than cope with climate change. We choose to end it. We refuse to lose. We do this and more, not because it's very easy or nice, but because it is necessary. Because with every dawn, we carry the weight of the fates of this celestial body orbiting a star. And as heavy as that weight sounded, it doesn't hold us down, but it keeps us grounded, steady, ready, because an environmental movement of this size is simply another form of an Earthrise. To see it, close your eyes, visualize that all of us in this room and outside of these walls or in these halls, all of us change makers, or in a spacecraft floating like a silver raft in space, and we see the face of a planet anew. We relish the view, we witness its round green and brilliant blue, which inspires us to ask deeply, wholly, what can we do? Open your eyes, know the future of this wise planet is right in sight, right in all of us. Trust this earth uprising, all of us bring light to exciting solutions never tried before, for it is our hope that implores us at our uncompromising core to keep rising up for an earth more than worth fighting for.
And that concludes our Seder. Thank you. You're invited to unmute and say shalom to all our friends at this time. Thank you for attending our Seder.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
Beautiful service.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Adam. It was beautiful.
Hello, everyone. It was wonderful. Thank you.
And my daughter's attending from London.
Oh,
Sam.
Sam.
Good.
Hi, Samantha.
Yes.
Oh.
I'll see you.
Thank you, everyone who participated.